going to tackle painting that bilge today.
You can see I'm just using Interlux bilge coat in the bottom of the bilge here. I bought a gallon of it. I started with a quart just to make sure it was going to work okay. Bought a gallon, and I'm just pouring it in a small disposable paint tray since I'm just doing a small part today. So I'm just using one of the small styrofoam 1-inch wide weenie rollers, they call them. I have about a 1 foot handle, and I'm doing this because I'm going to start with this section up under the sole where you see me working here. The idea I had was to get that part that's hardest to reach first in the event I have to lean down with my hand on the base of the bilge to ultimately get in there. And you see I can put my head down and look up inside just to see how well the coverage is going. I'm not a big fan of these little 1-inch throwaway rollers. I much prefer the big, wider nap rollers, almost like you would use on your home. They seem to have a much better coverage, and in the end I was able to do one less coat because of the coverage it would put on versus these little styrofoam weenie rollers. But when I'm doing a small section, this works well.
I made some good progress today down on the boat. I didn't stop to keep picking up the camera and filming. I left it going. I'll have some footage of some of the area I painted, but I didn't want to get paint all over my camera equipment. But I did go ahead and get the salon bilge painted. I also went ahead and painted, probably 2/3 of the engine room compartment. So we're getting there. It's got quite a bit done. And I'll tell you, those little tiny 1-inch wide foam rollers, you use for small work, I found you have to put about 3 coats on with that versus using a regular nap roller, right? So like the 9-inch rollers, but you can buy the little ones that are 4 inches wide, but they're the big, the big round ones. They work so much better. I went ahead and got an extension pole, so I get as much as I could from where I could reach, and then I use the extension pole to kind of get on my hands and knees and paint all the way up the sides of the hull to the very edge of the sole. So the entire hull is painted white, not just the part you can see. Certainly made for some contortionist moves, and once this dries and I got to go in there and do some of the touch-up paint, I'm gonna have to just sort of I think lay on my belly and slide down into the engine room and see just how flexible I am, and only do it when Deb's around because I might need help lifting something back out, mainly myself. Yeah, but I am beat. It's hot down below. Did as much as I could to exhaust out the fumes, but yeah, whew, I'm ready to drink some more water and head on home. Relax. Away we go. Well, I must admit, I've got a pretty bad case of the don't want tos today. I ran by the store to pick up a Tyvek suit so I can climb back down into the bilge and get painting underneath the engine and in a couple of areas there. But as I was in the store looking for it, I started wandering around, looking at different ceiling options for what I can put up there, checking out waterproof vinyl flooring, thinking that might be a cool scenario to put up on the ceiling. Anyway, I can tell my mind's distracted. I get down here and I'm just losing my desire to do anything today. It's hot, and I don't know, maybe I might call it a short day today. I hate that, but I may very well do that. But I think what I am going to do, however, is I'm going to do a little work right here at the mast. I'll show you what I'm doing. So here's the boom I just put up. It's the boom we refinished before. Let me turn around and kind of show you this. So there, I've got it up on the boat. It's connected. I just need to put a pin in the bottom of this just to make sure it stays in there nice and good. You'll notice right here is a slot where the sail lugs will actually go into the track. It's a different system than the original sail. And if you remember in a video last year we talked about having the sail redone, and I went and got some slugs. I actually went and got metal ones that were going to go at the top of the sail, and I gave that to the yard so that they could cut this slot to fit. While the sail was at the loft, I decided to go ahead and get a different type of sail slug. I don't know if you can see this. You see how it's got a double set of T's there, like an I-beam as opposed to a T? That keeps it a little more secure and keeps it from
alternating back and forth like this. But it's slightly larger than the ones that were there before, so I just need to trim this up a little bit so it's big enough for those sail slugs to get in there. So I'm going to go ahead and just open this, widen this up just a tad right here on the mast. So before I get going today, I think I might actually try and raise the interstitial. We have not had it out from underneath the bag cover. Geez, let me think. We were going to pull it up during the sea trial, and the surveyor took a look at it in the bag and said, it's probably so darn tattered, it's likely gonna tear apart. So we have not had that thing out of the cover in almost 4 years now. So I figured, they're getting ready to detail the boat. There's probably dirt dauber nests and everything else in it. I'm going to pull the cover off. I'm reevaluating where the halyards are. It looks like it was actually rigged wrong from the previous owner even. The halyard doesn't quite go to the right spot on the mast, so I found the right one. I'm just getting ready to reconfigure a bunch of it. But we'll raise this thing up and see what it looks like. All right, I'm going to take an intermission coming to you from the car. If you're not familiar with our channel, my wife and I do videos every single week about our lifestyle living aboard and refitting our classic sailboat. If that's the type of content you think you might enjoy, by all means, give us a thumbs up and a like, and click subscribe so you don't miss any of our future videos. So this is pretty cool. I'm kind of into the wind, so it's not the best angle, but the sail's definitely in rough shape. It's torn up, but I do like the interstitial. I've never flown that. Looking forward to it. It's a nice self-tacking jib. It was nice to be able to do a little slip sail in today, as I like to call it, but getting the sail up, that was good. Kind of rearranged some of the running rigging, which was nice, and yeah, I'm going to call it a day. Feeling lazy today. The idea of sitting in a lawn chair with a little bit of a breeze and a cold beverage sounds really, really good. How's that for lazy? Till next time, we'll see you guys. Safe sailing. I'd wave, but my hands are completely full. Still sure believe she looks sexy. Can't wait to get the rest of her varnished up and all that good stuff, but I'm just ready to sail her home. I'm up here at the storage shed bright and early before sunrise. I'm going to try and cut one roof panel just to test fit out this material. I want to see how well it'll look in the salon. I think it's going to look good. It's essentially a white beadboard. I've put this off a lot of times using the white beadboard because I was a little worried. It's like a compressed fiber board, and if it gets any moisture in it, it would puff up and swell and look like crap. But with the new decks, I'm really, really confident I'm not going to end up with any kind of moisture in there, short of maybe a little condensation. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to put some in there. We'll see how it looks. I'll probably just do the salon with this. But I want to get one piece cut and see how well it's going to sort of look in the salon itself. So I'm down here bright and early to get that cut. I'm also going to see if my last piece of marine grade plywood, 3/4 inch thick marine grade plywood, is big enough for me to cut the last section of the bottom side of that battery box inside the galley settee. I have most of it closed up. There's still a section that I left open. And if it's not big enough, I may actually cut it in two pieces and screw them down instead of one, just so I don't have to buy another 4x8 sheet of plywood because I'm 5 or 6 inches short on the amount of wood I need for this piece of the flooring. So away we go. All right, so sun's up. I got a little bit more light now, but I was able to get these cut. So I've got the top ceiling panel cut right here. I also cut the last piece of the flooring for down in the galley settee where the battery boxes go. So that'll be nice. Once that's done, I'll be able to start raising up the table, putting the cushions back down there, and really starting to get her ready a little bit for hopefully next weekend, which we're hoping we bring her home. Well, oh my gosh, we got flooring again. Loving that. Woohoo! Flooring, flooring, flooring. It's starting to look like a boat again. It's weird to walk by and not have to worry about falling in. Alright, we got part of the ceiling up. Got the light turned on just to see what it looks like, but I like the ceiling. Just one piece in there just as a temporary to see how it looks. Got to cut it better. But 6 of these lights will light up really nice down here. So remember the other day I was talking about I love scenes that put things in perspective? Let me put this in perspective. That's a bow of a boat. The size of this thing. It is a monster. Again, I want to show you. Our boat over there is 58 feet or so with the bowsprit. And it looks tiny in front of this one. Hey everybody, it's Gil. So this entire week I've been coming down to the boat and doing a lot of little tiny work. And I say little tiny work because literally I would get up at 5 in the morning, get down here by the time the sun comes up, work for 30 minutes to an hour or so, and then head over to a Starbucks near the boatyard so I can get some more work done here for work. So I've been coming down here making very, very small incremental progress, but a lot of these little things just needed to be done because I'm trying to really push to get the boat back home this weekend. I'd love to try and sail it home this weekend. I think it's a bit of a long shot, but I will say, man, the yard and the stainless fabricators have all been making pretty good progress. So on the stainless side, the gates look like they're done, the latches are on, the hinges are all welded, one's already installed, the other one's been dry fitted, and I saw them today polishing up all of the welds. Now, I think they missed one, and I say that just because they polished all but this one, and it's about 2/3 of the way up toward the bow, so I gotta point that out tomorrow to him to make sure he knows that it's not done and needs to get that done. So that's really progressing well. They did touch-up paint on the boat. They still have a little bit more to do. There's a couple of small spots on the stern where they're going to fill a few small holes and then fair and paint that, do some touch-up. Yeah, I mean, things are really moving pretty well. As a matter of fact, today they even fixed that fuel line that had a little bit of an air leak. They put a new set of fittings, a new banjo fitting on that where it connects up to the primary fuel system, and even put all the floorboards back down. So inside, it's starting to actually look like a boat. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about the progress we're making. I don't know if we'll be able to make it for sure this weekend. Like I said, still some touch-up paint, a little bit of fair and fill to do. And we still have to seal all the rub rails. That's still something I noticed wasn't done yet, but we're progressing, and I'll keep pushing. Hopefully we'll be able to get it this weekend. And it doesn't mean we'll sail at home. It'll be 100% done. There's still going to be a lot of work to do, but we'll be able to do that at home. Deb will be able to go out over during the day when the girls are in school, so hopefully we can kind of knock out some more of this stuff. We'll prioritize what we need for the boat show ahead of everything else, because that's in 2 weeks or so, 2.5 weeks. Hey everybody, as I mentioned, I've been coming back to this boat every morning and doing just a little bit of work. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. As we were doing work on the boat, the boatyard would take things off the deck, right? The deck box, the cockpit seat, right? Just all the stuff, old hardware off the old mast, all that stuff, and just kind of put it in boxes and stack it in pallets and put it up in their storage cage. There were actually 4 pallets of stuff, or 3.5 pallets of stuff here. So I decided to start getting some of this and bringing it, going through it, throwing away what I don't need, and putting some of it in storage or tools or wherever things go, right? Rather than just tossed around where they were. The boat looks so pretty and clean the way it is. I don't want to kind of crap it up by putting stuff back on the deck. Look like the Clampetts are a hoarder. So I started going through this stuff. I threw away a bunch of it. It was a guy at the boatyard who, tarps and bungee cords and things like that he could certainly use. It was amazing. I had jars, like plastic pickle jar kind of things, full of screws that I took out of the deck. what am I going to do with these? And half of them still had epoxy in the screw heads. I don't know what I was doing. I think I was just collecting them so they wouldn't get lost or fall in the water. But I threw them in the dock box instead of in the trash. So anyway, I went through all this stuff. I'm bringing some of it home. I'm bringing home essentially all the stanchion bases and the stanchions, the old ones. I might bring those to the boater's resale shop and see about having those consignment sold. Those will actually probably sell. I'm bringing back some of the canvas. So one of the biminis from the cockpit and the companionway cover, I'm going to run by a laundromat and I'm going to wash those real well, and then I'm going to treat them with 303 to make them waterproof before we put them back on. I want them to look good. I'm trying to think of what else I have back here. An inexpensive folding ladder that I kept on deck for when we had floodwaters or a tropical storm in the Gulf and we floated up too high above the dock. I could put our boarding steps on and then then climb down to the actual dock. In some cases that needed that. So just got a bunch of the stuff here. I'm gonna start to clean it up, put some of it in storage, throw some of it away, wash some of it, and I'll be back again probably tomorrow morning to pick up some more of this stuff. I'm still not sure what to do with the cockpit seat. It's the craziest looking setup, and I don't know if the metal's worth anything for somebody or not, but part of me just wants to throw it in the dumpster and just get rid of it, but I'll see what I can do with that. I'm not going to hoard it or store it, that's for sure. So tonight is trivia night. I think we're going to go with our friends to have a few drinks and play trivia at a little local bar. That's always a good time. And tomorrow morning I'll be loading more stuff up. Still hoping to move the boat this weekend.
I'm going to go ahead and end the video right here. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. I know it was a little bit of an odd one because it was just a bunch of little jobs, but again, we are prepping and trying to get out of the yard here as quick as we can. Next week, we're going to end up molding some small plug fillers to go into our stanchion bases. We bolted them through the hull, but in some cases we need to mold and form a backing plate that takes the exact same shape as the hull. So we'll show you how we went about creating essentially a positive mold for that, a negative mold for that, and then ultimately using that mold to generate the shape that we needed. We'll also do a little bit more cleaning on the boat in preparation for it to get out of the yard, as well as test the spreader lights. We installed these back on the mast months ago when the mast was still sitting in the shop. Wait till you see how bright these are. I think you guys are going to like them. We'll see everybody next week. Safe sailing.